You must not know about me. You must not know me. What?
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Nigel.
And I'm Ashley.
And we're our roaming empire.
See, this like soothing voice is the exact opposite of the vibe of Hanoi. Today in this video, we're going to cover what is Hanoi, where is it, how to get there, some really helpful tips to understand the city a little bit better, what you need in terms of apps, visa requirements, the best things to do there, where you should stay, some day trip ideas as well, pretty much the full package.
And at the end, we're going to give you our honest review after being there for 5 weeks. Some of it was great.
The Bay rocks.
Some of it was terrible.
Not only did I struggle to try to get back to health with like my stomach and my nausea, this also really heightened my anxiety in a way that sorry, I need a minute.
So stay to the end as we cover Hanoi, Vietnam.
Hi, we're Ashley and Nigel. We recently quit our jobs and sold our home in Seattle and are now traveling the world full time. Welcome to our channel.
Please like and subscribe for more fun travel content. Hanoi is the capital city of Vietnam and the second most populated. It's not a wide country, but it's really long, and when you look at it on the map, you may believe it's much smaller than it is. But to get from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City by train will take you almost 22 hours. So the size comparison to the United States, it's roughly like the north is Michigan and the south is Louisiana.
Given the size of the country and the length of it, it has totally different climates. And so when it's nice weather in the north area, it could be the rainy season in the central area or the south. So if you're planning a trip there, please be sure that you understand what the weather is going to be like in the location you're going to be in. And especially if you plan on traveling throughout multiple regions. If you're visiting Hanoi, you're more than likely flying here. Hanoi has one international airport, the Noi Bai Airport. When we flew in, it was pretty overwhelming. Luckily, we pre-ordered and booked a fast track through immigration and a ride out of the airport through Klook. We'll link that in the description below. We highly recommend that you do this when you're coming into Hanoi.
Vietnamese friends of ours told us that the immigration lines could be 5 to 6 hours without it.
That's not it. Yeah, you gotta buy that tea. If you don't buy that tea, then maybe you'll regret it.
For us, we needed an e-visa, and I think for most other countries and visitors, you also will need an e-visa. It's good for up to 90 days. You do have to apply for it online. We would suggest doing it at least 5 days or so before you want to actually enter the country. It does have an approval process that can take multiple days.
You cannot do it once you land. They'll just sit you in a holding cell and ship you back to your country of origin. We'll also link below a really helpful content creator that is in Vietnam who helped us out, and he's really fun to watch as well. US and westernized apps work here. There are a couple apps you're going to want to get that's going to help you in your process while you're in Hanoi or any other place in Vietnam. Number one, the MVP of our entire trip is Grab. This is a one-stop shop for anything you need. You need a ride somewhere and you want to ride by car. You need a ride somewhere and you want to ride by bike. You want food delivered to your house. If you want to buy something at a store and have somebody bring it to you, you got to send a fecal sample to the doctor. And yes, we did use this.
We did that.
Westernized countries are going to work their butt off to try and make sure Grab doesn't come to countries in Europe and come to countries in America. But once it does, bye-bye Uber, bye-bye anybody else. Grab is the bomb. And when you tip, 100% of that tip goes to the drivers non-taxed.
We would suggest getting one additional app. You probably already have this if you're traveling internationally already, but we would suggest downloading WhatsApp. A really convenient way to communicate with restaurants, with doctors if you need. You're gonna wanna have that app for secondary communication while you're in Hanoi.
In Hanoi, I would highly suggest not renting a car. Renting a car would be insane for someone who didn't grow up in this area. You can rent a bike if you're comfortable with that kind of madness.
We really can't overstate how chaotic the traffic is here and how many people are on the road and how the rules of the road really just don't apply. So unless you're really comfortable on a bike, also maybe don't try that and just go with Grab.
Grab is just so easy, man. If the Americas and Europe are set to a 4-4 timing, then Asia, it's a little bit jazz. And if Asia's jazz, Vietnam is acid jazz. Let's go! The city just runs at its own beat. There's times where either your Grab driver or your bike driver is gonna make turns. You're gonna be like, what are you doing?
Cars will just start moving into other lanes, no blinker, they'll U-turn in front of cars, trucks, anything, and there really are minimal accidents.
One of the amazing things about the people of Vietnam is there's no egos. A car will cut in front of another car and they might honk, but that honk is less of like a, oh man, you did something wrong to me. It's more like, hey, I know you're here, I see you. Nobody yelling outside our cars. There's no egos in this place. You cannot learn acid jazz like this from home. You're gonna have to be here, and eventually it's gonna make sense to you. But day one, I bet you're shocked. You need to cross the road, and it's madness.
This entire system is based fully on trust. You have to trust everyone else around you. There's no amount that we could explain this that can prepare you for it. You just have to be there and just go with the flow.
You just gotta go and just assume everybody's gonna do their thing.
Don't slow down, but walk slowly.
But don't you walk too slow.
Not too slow. Just keep going, steady pace, unless you have to stop, but don't stop.
Don't ever stop.
There you go.
Unless you have to.
That's how you do
but
it.
Don't ever. And I know it doesn't make sense while you're sitting on your couch. When you're here, you do it 2 or 3 times. It makes sense.
It's a flow. It's a very specific flow. You just gotta go for it. That's it.
It's acid jazz, yo.
We would highly suggest to really understand how much of that you can take on your trip and how much you're personally comfortable with, and that should dictate where you stay.
And we'll help you do that right now.
First up, the most popular place to stay for tourists would be the Old Quarter area. Now, this is an area that's going to have constant stimuli around you. It is the touristy area. It's got a ton of stuff to do, countless restaurants. It's a great place to be, but it is on 24/7. If you're only in Hanoi for a couple of days, we suggest potentially staying in this area if you can handle the amount of hecticness.
And if you can walk a little bit, you can pretty much hit all the little sites you want to see.
There's two neighborhoods west of Old Quarter that we would suggest potentially staying as well, Giang Vo and Ca Zai.
I went to these neighborhoods when I went to a basketball tournament there. I actually bought the VIP tickets because they were so cheap. And when I sat down, I had my own private butler who kept bringing me these sandwiches, and the sandwiches were covered in mayo. Your boy does not eat mayo. No sauce, Nigel.
No sauce, Nigel.
I didn't want to be rude, and no one spoke English, so I kept hiding them under my chair. And they'd see that I wouldn't have a sandwich in hand, so they'd bring me another sandwich. I left with 6 sandwiches hidden underneath my chair. People were taking pictures with me. Some lady asked to play with my hair. I was a VIP in this Pro-Am basketball tournament, but it was actually really fun. If you're going to be there for a long period of time and you're not looking to always be in and out of the Old Quarter, Ocean Park. It's across the river. It's about 45 minutes on a good day. It was a really refreshing feel.
This is massively different from where I came from.
And I think there's a good chance in 10, 15 years, this is one of the top places to stay. If I was to buy property, something that I think is going to grow, Ocean Park's where I'd buy property. One of the cleanest views you can ever have in Hanoi.
This is also a private beach club that I can't enter. Whoa. Oh.
You can really tell that the city's trying to build up this area specifically.
We would definitely not say to stay here if you're only going to be in Hanoi a couple days. You will spend almost all your time in cabs. And lastly, one of the expat areas is going to be Teo. We stayed in this place twice in 2 different areas.
We stayed on both the east and the west side of the highway. East side of the highway will have more of a local feel.
It's a lot. It'd be easier if it wasn't pouring down raining.
The west side will have more of an expat feel with a little bit of local thrown in there.
It's baby chickens.
One thing we would suggest, make sure if you're not comfortable crossing a 6-lane highway every day to get to the good stuff, you stay on the western side of that main highway. Around Westlake itself is probably the quieter neighborhoods with a lot more westernized food. If you're going to be going out to Hanoi for a month, this would be a great place to stay. Another question everybody's going to ask is how long should you stay in Hanoi? We had a friend of ours tell us the amount of time we were planning to stay there was too long. He was 100% correct. Even with getting sick and missing half the time, we still felt like we stayed at least 3 weeks too long. You're just coming into Hanoi, 4 to 5 days, you got it.
Any longer and I think it just becomes too overwhelming.
And there's only 2 seasons in Hanoi, hot, blistering hot, or smoke time.
a day trip to Ninh Binh, you can actually do this within 1 day specifically. You could book a tour on Klook and it'll take you down by bus. It's about a 2-hour bus ride. You can visit some of the popular areas in the city and then ride back up to Hanoi. This was one of the day trips that we had planned to do that we didn't actually get to do because we were sick majority of the time that we were in Hanoi.
This tour will take you around Ninh Binh to get you a good feel of the city. You'll be able to ride in a canoe or a raft down the river, and you get to climb this sort of tall mountain and be able to see this temple at the top. We really wanted to do this tour, so this is something we highly recommend. Please let us know how it goes, but you can do this as a day trip.
The next one, we would suggest Ha Long Bay. Can be a day trip. A lot of tourists actually do this as a day trip. About a 3-hour bus ride from Hanoi to Ha Long area. We're gonna link our video for Ha Long Bay below so that you can get a deeper dive into some of the things to do in Ha Long City and how we felt about the tour and the visit itself.
We would highly suggest, if you have the time, do not do this as a day tour. Ha Long City was a big win. Again, check out that full video. It's a good one. And then lastly, one that you cannot do in a day tour, it's gonna take you a couple hours to get there, is Sapa. This is one of the big things people come to Hanoi for. It will take you about 5 to 7 hours to get to Sapa from Hanoi. That's why you can't do it in a day trip. The vertical rice fields are there. And another thing we had plans to do when we got sick, couldn't imagine riding that long out there, getting everybody in our bus sick as well.
We would also suggest to be mindful of the weather when you do this. So Sapa is a little bit more in the mountain area. It gets a lot colder. And the loop itself, you're riding on a motorcycle for a couple of days in the elements. So the wind and the cold and everything, just be prepared for it. We met a couple of friends from Poland in one of our rides back from Ha Long City, and they said the loop was without a doubt worth it, one of the best things that they did, but they were freezing the entire time.
And they were from Poland and they were freezing. Just imagine these Louisiana cockroaches. Our first thing, and it's something you might hit every single morning, it's Vietnamese coffee. The coffee game in Hanoi is top notch.
Unmatched.
Yeah. That's everything apple pie. It's like a dessert.
It's so unique. Coconut coffee, salted coffee.
It shocked me. I knew coffee was gonna be good here, but I never thought it would be this good.
I'm not a huge coffee drinker, so I would go for the tea, and it's just as good and just as many unique options as the coffee. Our favorite place for coffee here was Mak Lan. This is in the Westlake area. It was so serene. It was like in a little foresty jungle. It was just so peaceful and wonderful to sit out there. We actually went out there a couple of days and just worked. The next thing we're going to talk about now is the food. Everyone is pretty familiar with the main Vietnamese foods that you'll find out here. Obviously, you're going to want to try the pho.
Yes. Pho. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's typically more of a breakfast food out here.
We would suggest if it has a name, skip it. If it just says pho and the address, that's the place you want to go to.
You're also going to want to try some other traditional dishes. Bun cha is one of the ones that we really loved out here. This is roasted pork and ground pork grilled in skewers. and it's put in this lovely fish broth, and you put all of these herbs and spices into it to your liking, and then you just take some noodles and you dip and you eat everything all together. And it was a standout here in Hanoi.
It was my favorite by far.
And the last dish that most people are familiar with out here would be a banh mi sandwich.
We are so proud of our bread.
All right, you ready? I'm so excited
Yep.
for the crunch.
Oh, I heard it.
See that?
Yeah. Right?
Another thing you got to remember when you're walking around, take a look at the people. Take a look at the locals. They are healthy. The people in Vietnam are some of the healthiest people in the world, and it's because they eat very clean. Follow that. Do that. I promise you, you will feel, your gut will thank you. We'd really like to highlight one restaurant in particular. We don't have a lot of footage, unfortunately. We had made plans to actually go and do an interview with the chef. The smog had gotten really bad, so we ended up leaving Hanoi a little early. The restaurant's called Daewoo Cuisine.
I'm not sure if there's a better view in Hanoi than what we got going on right here. It's ridiculous.
The menu was this thick. She said, you know, you can look through the menu, or I could just make you some. And we were like,
Okay.
and it was so delicious. Some of the best pork belly I've ever had.
This place rocks.
Then, after we ate, she actually sat down and just had like a 40-minute conversation with us.
She was extremely impressive.
If you have a chance to go eat at this restaurant, we highly recommend it. Maybe over anything we've ever recommended before.
There are two main lakes here that we would suggest visiting. Hote, which is the large lake in the Westlake area.
You're gonna spend most of your time in Hote, probably at the south side or in the Westlake area.
And Ho Han Kiem. South of the Old Quarter, it's a little bit smaller, so you can actually walk around the full lake. And we don't want to scare you away from this, but if you're walking around the lake at night, you will see bats. It's gonna happen. They probably won't interfere with anything that you're trying to do. They are there.
I know you guys saw that bat, right? Mm-hmm. I did too.
Nipples are not appropriate workplace attire.
Walking along any of that area, especially as the sun going down, is so amazing. Hanoi is in the top 5 of the most polluted cities in the world. I don't want to knock it, but there's no other way to describe it. The air pollution was terrible. We ended up leaving a little early because of it. There's always trash on the ground. The Vietnamese people in Hanoi have a lot of pride in who they are. They have a lot of pride in being kind and wonderful people to both tourists and each other.
Which they are.
They believe in peace. These are the nicest people, and they pride themselves on that. But they haven't gotten to the point yet where they pride themselves on the cleanliness of the city. I expect in the next 20 years that this city will not be ranked on there if they can get a hold of that smog from the bikes and from the industries. One of the pluses of the city being so full of smog is the sun looks fabulous as it's coming down over that pollution.
Another must stop is Train Street. It is a must see. We would suggest contacting a cafe. We visited Hanoi 1990s.
It's going to be less crowded during the day, more crowded at night. Personally, I don't want to deal with the crowds, so the lack of light is not going to make it any better.
The train really does pass inches from you. And it is going not at full speed, but not slowly.
Enough to crush a human body. When When you're in Hanoi, you got to spend some time on the history. This city has a large history with both the French colonialism and the war. One of the things that can combine both of that is Holo Prison Museum. This was built in the late 1800s by the French to house Vietnamese revolutionaries. The French were very violent towards the locals and kept them in awful situations. And then in the Vietnam War, that became known as the famous Hanoi Hilton, where POWs were kept. It covers both of those things.
It doesn't take a lot of time. You could see it within an hour.
It does get a little crowded, so we would suggest going early, but it is a must to understand the history of this amazing city. And it really gives you a sense of how powerful the want for peace is in this city. Next thing we're going to cover was one of the things that was a non-negotiable for me was the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum and Museum. Ho Chi Minh is my favorite revolutionary of all time, a man who spent his entire life trying to educate himself to help his people be free from colonialism from the French and then from the war against America. If you don't know much about Ho Chi Minh, I would suggest watching a couple of documentaries beforehand because this man did everything he could to free his people, and they built an amazing monument to him that he's actually held in. You need to go there with respectful clothes on. There is no photography done. It is a must do. And the museum itself was actually a huge deal for us.
The locals take this very seriously. It's an amazing opportunity to understand a little bit more about this man who did so much for his people. Please just be respectful.
My favorite revolutionist.
He has a favorite revolutionist.
Everyone should have a favorite revolutionist.
And lastly, we would suggest a food tour.
Never done.
Never done one,
Not
but we
once.
figured Vietnam's probably a pretty good place to do it.
Yeah.
I think we'll try 7 or 8 dishes from about 4 or 5 places in Old Quarter. We food touring.
Egg coffee.
Egg coffee.
Starting
Yeah.
We're not typically tour type of people, but when you're going to a country where you basically only know 3 or 4 different types of food, it's a way for you to understand what you should order. If you don't know a door's there, you definitely don't know how to open it. It was on this tour that we first got a sense that Hanoi was going to be a little bit more difficult than we anticipated. About halfway through the tour, Ashley started not feeling good, and it wasn't because of the food. And then when we got to that next spot, she said, "We need to leave, I'm getting dizzy." And before I knew it, she had fully passed out and was laying on the ground in Old Quarter.
Our tour guide was absolutely phenomenal through this as well. Called the ambulance for us, was able to translate, got me in the ambulance. It was a very I need a second. Well, I did not expect to do this.
It's okay. Be real.
Obviously, I haven't fully gotten over it yet. This was really hard for me. I've never had any medical issues really before, and to have something like that happen in a foreign country when you don't know the language and you can't communicate well, it was a lot. It was a lot to take in, but the people around me were super helpful and kind.
The people of Vietnam won us over that night. No less than 60 people came out the woodwork to try and help us. They just truly cared about her health. Lady climbed behind her and started massaging her shoulders and her feet.
Pressure points to try to get the blood flow going. We went to the hospital. They took great care of me. They were very attentive. They did the best they could. They found that nothing seems life-threatening. If you have any issues, follow up with a doctor, which we did as well. Shout out Dr. Mike. He was absolutely amazing. We'll link the hospital and the doctor's office that we went to a couple of times after this, because not only did I struggle to try to get back to health with like my stomach and my nausea, this also really heightened my anxiety in a way that sorry, I need a minute.
That's okay.
going through what we're going through right now with this huge life change. We did quit our jobs and we sold our home. I knew that there would be some struggles and some challenges with that. This medical surprise, scare, whatever it was, really just made things a little bit more challenging, and it really made being in Hanoi a little bit more difficult for me. It took me quite a few weeks to heal up from this. And then the air pollution, it was a lot to get through.
We didn't realize at that point the reason why she was feeling so bad was because she was in the early stages of having the flu. And we were pushing it. Honestly, we pushed it so much. In Hong Kong, we were walking 25,000 steps a day for a month straight. There's another portion of this is that it finally hit us. This is no longer a vacation. This is life. And it's not always gonna be easy. Hanoi is not going to rank high on our list of places that we've been to, and I'm not going to say it's all because of Hanoi, and I'm not going to say it's not all because of Hanoi. And there was certain parts of it we loved, and there was certain parts of it I'd never want to see again. But one thing that did win us over was the people. But it was hard for us, and it was hard for her, and it's continuing to be hard for her, and we are going to do our best to work through it. But this is full-time travel. 99% of it is awesome. Some of it isn't.
This is something that we want to be very open and honest about, that it's not always 100% perfect.
Can't get a win. Asha just ran into the glass door of our bathroom and busted her nose.
Look.
It's not broken, I don't think.
We are here to give you the truth on travel. The truth is that city can be a lot. We hope again we didn't bum you out with going to Hanoi. We hope you like this video. I'm Nigel.
And I'm Ashley.
And we're Our Roaming Empire. And if you think it's time for you to pack it in, if you think it's hard today, everything could be worse, you're here. Live your life. Chase that itch.
Stay tuned for Bangkok.
Please like and subscribe for more fun travel content.
Winner, chicken, fried steak, chicken.
Okay, yeah.
Some of the best pork and some of the best beef. What was it? Not the
Eggplant?
The eggplant was beef on top of it.
Yeah, it was beef and then the
Yeah.
pork belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beef and then the pork belly.
Some of the best pork belly and some of the best beef I had ever had.
Pork. It wasn't beef. It was all
I
pork.
asked you if it was beef and you said it was beef.
It's all pork.
I'm going to play that back and you're going to feel silly.